In NBC's hit reality show, The Biggest Loser, contestants of Season 8 lost hundreds of pounds. While at the weight loss ranch and on their own, they spent their days exercising rigorously and eating as little as possible. By the end of the season, they were at the smallest weight they'd ever been and left feeling happy and confident. However, as a recent article from the New York Times states, as each returned to their private life, the weight slowly crept back on, despite their best efforts to diet and exercise. Though disappointing, their story is not unusual. Maybe you've experienced what I'm talking about. Have you ever tried a diet and lost a few or more pounds, only to have those same pesky pounds creep right back on? Then the next time you diet, it's even harder to get them off. Or maybe you've tried to diet but feel so hungry and cranky that you end up binging on tons of food, vowing to yourself that you'll do better the next time. Or perhaps you've struggled with some stressful circumstances and have found food to be your only source of comfort or the only thing you have control over. Chances are the majority of you have experienced one of these feelings. Our nation is simultaneously starving for nutrients while tipping the scales as one of the most overweight countries in the world. Yet, we have a $30 billion a year dieting industry. We are obsessed with counting calories, carbs, fat, and getting our workouts in, yet we remain overweight. Is it because we're all a bunch of lazy bums? Well, many would tell you yes. I'd like to submit another idea. Maybe the prescription we've been given for weight loss is incorrect. While many of you may be doubtful, just hear me out. Did you know that 95.7% of those who lose weight are unable to maintain the weight loss long term? If any drug or medical procedure had a 95% failure rate, it would have been rejected and we would have moved on to other ideas. Yet for some reason as a nation, we hold fast to this idea that if we just starve ourselves enough and move more, we're going to get healthy. Well, I don't believe that's true, and fortunately, research backs me up. My purpose today is to convince you to reject any weight loss method that encourages you to count what you eat rather than listen to internal hunger cues. First of all, the model we've been given for weight loss does not work long term. For the past few decades, scientists have been hard at work seeking to understand the physiology and psychology behind weight loss. What they found has been buried within medical journals and is just beginning to come out, and thank goodness it is. Basically, the biggest myth debunked is the idea that anyone can consciously regulate the number of calories they take in and burn. Here's an example from the New York Times bestseller, The Calorie Myth. This book has been endorsed by Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins Medical School, UCLA, and several top medical researchers. The author, Jonathan Baylor, explains that, quote, researchers at the University of Washington cite the role of a complex control system in the brain that adjusts the calories our body takes in and expends, both immediately and over the long term, to achieve homeostasis and keep our weight stable over time. Similarly to the way the body automatically regulates insulin and blood glucose levels until that system is overwhelmed, the body automatically regulates body fat until it is overwhelmed and breaks down, leading to becoming overweight and obese. Another way to think of it, much as we exhale more when we inhale more, or we urinate more when we drink more, we also burn more when we eat more and burn less when we eat less, automatically, end quote. So you may be wondering, well, if that's true, then why is anybody overweight? And that's a good question. As Baylor explained, just like breathing in bad air gives you lung cancer, eating the wrong foods clogs your body's ability to regulate its energy needs and leads to the disease obesity. It's not that calories don't count. They absolutely do. But you do not need to consciously count them because your body will take care of that. And often when you do consciously count them, you'll be taking in the wrong amount and cause emotional distress and obsession with food. Think of it this way. Research is becoming more and more clear about the idea of a set point weight. Everyone has a certain weight that is just right for them, and their body will fight to get to that weight. Usually, in a healthy person, that weight correlates with a healthy body fat percentage. However, for some, as they eat unhealthy foods to deal with those unhealthy foods, the body raises their set point weight. Here's another quote from Baylor. Quote, long-term fat gain works like this. A person's hormones go haywire, causing his set point weight to rise, and then his body fights to keep him storing more fat. Obesity is not a disorder of body weight regulation. Most obese people hold a stable weight around their elevated set point weight. Obesity is simply the result of a body defending the elevated set point weight, end quote. So then the question becomes, how do we lower our set point weight? How do we heal our metabolism? The answer is through what we eat. That brings me to my next point. Focus on the quality of your food instead of quantity and practice mindful eating. Seek to fill your diets with so much nutrient-rich, healthful foods that you crowd out less healthy options. To learn more about what is truly healthful, seek sources that are credible and will give a comprehensive view of nutrition. This could be like a nutrition textbook or a website run by a certified registered dietitian. There are many fad diets and dieters that claim to know about nutrition, so be sure to be careful about who you listen to. And as you learn more about what truly is healthiest, look for recipes for these foods and fill your kitchen with them. Focus on all the good foods available instead of worrying about what you shouldn't eat. Next, seek to be a mindful eater who listens to their intuitive hunger cues and needs. Too often we eat out of a need for stress relief, or we eat hurriedly while on the go. Mindful eaters take time to listen to their hunger cues and delight in the inherent joy of eating. They only eat when hungry and stop when full and take time to savor each bite. They don't associate morality with foods and rather focus on how some foods make them feel and then choose to eat the foods that make them feel light and energized. My favorite resource to learn about this way of eating is the book Intuitive Eating, so check that out for more help. In conclusion, the process of filling up your life with good foods and practicing intuitive eating takes a long time to fully incorporate. It is not a quick fix, and it will most likely not have obvious results right away, but I promise that it works long term. 6 years ago, I began my journey with focusing on quality instead of quantity and only eating when I was truly hungry, and my body slowly lost about 15 pounds. I have since unconsciously maintained that weight loss, even through 2 pregnancies. I never went hungry, and I actually feel great because healthy eating just feels better. So next time you are hit with the siren call of another quick fix weight loss strategy, please just run away. You have too much good to do in this life to obsess over your weight. So take the time to incorporate healthy foods and habits into your life and watch your metabolism slowly heal. Then move on and do what God meant for you to do with your life. Thank you.